Guys, welcome back for another episode of It's Too Late. I am your host, Alan Mosley, joined as always by the #1 producer in late night. It's Blake Osborne.
Sup?
It looked like you're poking out the eyes of the audience.
So my hand like totally turns to nothing when
Yeah.
I do that. Yeah,
You've
Whatever.
ascended.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Very, very angelic, the way that looked right there.
Rock and roll,
But
bro.
you get that all the time, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very angelic.
Yeah. When you're as pasty white as me, you get very washed out in cameras. I need makeup or something. I don't know.
You know, I've had people say before, Annika said this actually, that we should be like doing a little powder or something because of the bright lights on our faces and everything.
Yeah.
That just, that's just a bridge too far. I don't know,
white people
man.
problems here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
So here's the thing. I was thinking about this when I was driving down to the studio today.
Okay.
Is that, so we're not doing an episode the week of Christmas.
Okay.
So, and we didn't do an episode the week of Thanksgiving.
Right.
Which, for one, that means we do 50 episodes a year. We just don't do those two.
Right.
And that actually is perfect because that puts us to doing episode 149 the week before our big live to do here, where we will do that will kind of double as episode 150.
Yeah, it's almost like you timed it on purpose.
It's almost like we like
we know what
we
we're doing.
do like we like to. Blake and I joke a lot, but we do actually do a lot to plan this program, and so that so I do a lot to plan this program. And so so it's going to work out perfectly. Which, by the way, that's March 20th.
That's right.
2021. So next year, March 20th. So we had episode 100 this past year on what was it, the 14th or something?
Yeah,
it was in
14th.
March, and it was a lot of fun. It was a live show. We had live music. We had a dessert bar. How many podcasts can you go to a live recording of where they have a dessert bar?
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
I mean, I feel like we did all right.
Yeah.
And so we had that, and we had a band. We actually had a band. Like instead of us saying "Take it away, band," and then you hit a button, and it was actually
a real
band. So we're gonna plan some equally cool stuff for March 20th, 2021. You can go to we have an Eventbrite page. I think the easiest way to get there, because it's like Eventbrite / is go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Alan Mosley TV, click on events, and it's you can't miss it because it's the only event.
Yep.
Because we don't do this very often. We may have some interesting like special people coming to attend.
Okay.
I can't say who, because if I say it, then they won't come, and then I'll have to announce, oh, I'm so sorry, so and so's not attending.
That's just our luck.
And then everybody will want their money back, and then I'll say, what money? And then delete my Facebook, and because I'm going to steal your $70 or whatever. So anyway, March 2021.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was driving down, and I realized that not this week, but next week is the last show before Christmas.
Right.
So next week's show has to be like our Christmas holiday spectacular.
Okay.
I panicked briefly because I thought, like, I just got my dates mixed up. For some reason, I thought today was like the 14th or something, because that tells you where my brain is. And I thought, oh my God, today's the holiday spectacular. And we haven't done anything. So I was like, oh, we gotta, like, I don't know, I'll go buy a Santa hat or something. So next week is the holiday spectacular.
Yeah.
Last year, it was already like we had already like taken off. I think you took a trip or something.
Yeah, I think I went to Disney or something.
So I ended up doing the holiday spectacular from home by myself.
Yeah.
And it was great. We talked about, is fruitcake a cake or a bread? We sang like one line out of our favorite Christmas carols, because if you sing more than that, then you're gonna have to pay somebody.
Yep.
I don't
Unless
have like my
Bells.
ASCAB membership and BMI and all that stuff. Right now, there's people like, I have no idea what that is.
Nope.
Just understand it's nothing you want to have to deal with.
Yeah. For sure.
So be thinking, Blake. I tell Blake my notes for him as a producer during the monologues of the show of the week before. So what you're at home listening to right now is actually me just telling Blake, have something fun for Christmas for next week.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you're wearing a red shirt, so you're practically already there.
It's a preemptive strike. Let's put it that way. I got to gain a lot of weight to pull off Santa.
It's the
next
Bush
week, but,
doctrine right there. It's the Bush doctrine on Christmas. So I just wanted to say really briefly before we take our first commercial break. So we're always fighting the algorithms on Facebook, Twitter, just big tech, just totally, it has us all by the balls here. And so we are so dependent on you guys at home. If you can hear my voice, we are dependent on you.
Yeah, we need your help
to like and share the program.
Yeah.
So if you're watching the show right now, which I know you are because we're live.
Yeah.
Right now. It's happening.
Right now.
It's happening at 9:06. And so we're on. And so I want you to go right there and click the share button at the wherever it is on your browser of choice. Sure. And make sure you're getting notifications from our page. Because I can't tell you like how sad and frustrating it is for me when I get messages from people literally every week saying, hey, when are you guys doing a new episode? Did y'all quit the show?
No.
Are y'all still doing the show? Jeez. And I'm like, we do a show every Wednesday at the same time.
Every Wednesday.
With the exception of Thanksgiving and Christmas. But with the exception of those, every Wednesday at the same time.
That's right.
And so it's like, I'm taken aback. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, sometimes I ask them because I'm curious. Well, what's the last episode you saw?
Yeah.
And invariably it'll be like, oh, the last one I saw, you were talking to Brian Kaplan about his book. And I'm like, dude, that was like last year. And we've done an episode every Wednesday since then.
That's right. I don't know.
So obviously what it is you're one of these poor, sad individuals who thinks that, well, I liked his page and I commented on a video. That means Facebook will show me when he goes live with a new video.
Nope.
No. Facebook will not. And by the way, our numbers are actually way up on YouTube, which I guess is a good thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm certainly not complaining.
No.
But it's so weird that our numbers are way up on YouTube, but they're way, way down basically everywhere else.
Yeah.
So make sure you click that little button on the page, like the page.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the show on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. Make sure you click that little notifications button to say see first or get notifications.
Right.
Get when we go live because the show's live every Wednesday night. And I just So anyway, there you go.
Yes,
but
sir.
To a further point of that, we're actually going to have to like drag our feet a little bit in the next segment because we only have like 3 viewer mails because no one saw our viewer mail post. And that's such a shame because, again, the viewer mail post comes out like every Monday at lunchtime. We say, it's that time again. We need a viewer mail.
That's right.
That's verbatim, verbatim quote. And so this week, we literally had like a reach of 16. In a group of thousands of people, Facebook only showed our viewer mail post to like that many people.
Jeez.
But that also tells me that there's that many other hundreds, nay, thousands of people that don't have us as get notifications, see first, that are not checking the page, that are not going there every week about that time. And also again, I have people who will send me screenshots of like, here's a post, this is the first time I'm seeing your post, and it's like 8 days old. Yeah. And I'm like, well...
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could post my viewer mail for the following week or some. I don't know. I don't know what we got to do. But
you know, let me tell you what it means to me. It means that our message matters. It means that we're definitely striking a chord with some folks because the stuff we talk about on this show can be dicey, spicy, edgy. Oh yeah,
spicy and dicey.
That's right.
Yeah,
we will spice you, and we will dice you. But you know what? But you know what? When you talk about the things you talk about, man, it's gonna rub some people.
So to clarify what Blake said, we will spice and dice you, but you got to pay for that. You don't get that for free. Let's take a commercial break.
Yes, sir.
If you're enjoying tonight's show, consider supporting the program by becoming a member of our Patreon. That's over at patreon.com/Alan Mosley. I forgot to mention, so our numbers are down everywhere with the exception of YouTube, but also the exception of one other place is Parler.
Yeah.
So we're on the Parler app at
right.
Alan Mosley over on Parler. And the funny thing is that I've seen I've seen a lot of people complain, or I don't know if complain, really more mock, I guess.
Yeah.
Saying that, well, Parler's stupid. Parler's just where all the right-wing snowflakes went. It's just an echo chamber for the conservatives and Republicans and all that. So first of all, yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Second of all, we're gonna try to spread our message everywhere we can because I mean, obviously, it's not working on Facebook and YouTube and other places. Third of all, we get way more viewership, we get way more traction, we get a lot more likes and views and clicks over there than we've been getting on these other platforms.
Right.
And it actually reminded me because way back in the day, way before the golden era of the It's Too Late. used to have a radio show. It was called The Gold Standard, and it's what evolved into this.
Sure. Yeah.
Used to be on radio.
Yeah.
And back in the old radio days, they used to say, some of your viewership will be people that really like you, and every week at that time, boy, they're gonna tune in.
Yep.
But some of your viewership is going to be people that hate you.
Yeah.
People that just despise everything you're about, who just disagree with everything you say, but they're tuning in because it's kind of like that's their guilty pleasure. It's like, oh, this guy, Alan, he's going to talk about why we can't bomb Iran, and I want to really bad. And so they'll tune in because they don't like you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you as the content creator who's just trying to get more clicks, more shares, more likes, who cares?
As long as they pay attention, right?
And so the fact that I'm getting way more traction over there than some of these other platforms, I mean, I'm going to keep doing it.
Let's do it.
So Parler at Alan Mosley is where you can find us over there, and we're going to keep posting there. Which, by the way, it's Parler's still relatively new, and of course their audience is still comparatively small compared to like a Twitter and a Facebook. But that also means there's an opportunity. Like if it's a new platform and people are going there and you have an opportunity to take your audience there and you can be a higher percentage of the total user base, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what, like, I'm not trying to carry water. Like, Parler's not paying me.
No.
Parler pays Remzo, who's our friend, who's over there on Parler. Parler doesn't pay me. I'm just saying we're going to try everything we can to... we're just throwing it on the wall here to see what sticks.
Yep.
That's the last I'm gonna do any bitching about social media and viewership and all that. We actually have a really exciting announcement right around the corner that actually just wipes away all that naysay, but we can't announce it yet.
Nope.
But you'll know when it happens because it'll be like, oh, Alan's moving on up. He didn't have time for us anymore. So anyway, Blake.
Yeah.
Time is it?
It's time for Meme of the Week. Ooh.
The media is a brainwashing machine. Hey, give a little credit to our public schools. Now, you know me, I've been trying here lately to do this thing where our meme of the week is semi-relevant to our segments later in the program. Yeah. So we're going to make fun of some public school stuff later in the program. You're going to see why then. There was a video that was going around of this teacher who was, I guess it's safe to say that she's pretty much just in line with most of the teachers' unions around the country, which is pro-lockdown, pro-mandate, anti-opening the schools back up, anti-in-person instruction. And they just swallow every bit of propaganda from the left and from the state, and then they expect you to do the same. And furthermore, by the way, those are the people you're sending your kids to. Yeah. So yikes on that one.
I know.
We're gonna talk about that in the next segment. But until then, let's answer some viewer mail. Let's catch up a Scotty. It says viewer mail, but I feel like it should say yes. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's answer some viewer mail. We're going to start with Andrew Avery, who writes, Dear Alan and Blake, what is your favorite breed of dog? So, by the way, Andrew does have a pun, but he actually also gave us a real question. So we're going to do the real question first.
Okay.
Blake, what's your favorite breed of dog?
Wow. I have a Boston Terrier. I had a pug. I have a soft Wheaten Terrier, and I have a whole bunch of Pyreneeses. Great Pyreneeses. I don't know. I guess just dogs.
Oh, okay. I loathe for me to say you should pick one, but of the dogs that you have, I won't tell them which one's your favorite.
Can't do that.
Oh, this is like the parent thing. All the parents say, "Oh, I love my children equally."
What about you, man? What about you? What about your favorite dog?
As someone that can tell you from personal experience from my parents and having a sibling, I promise you they had a favorite, and it wasn't me. So everyone has a favorite. I'm not even asking you to pick a favorite kid. I'm just saying pick your favorite dog.
Okay, so out of the 4 of those dogs that I just mentioned,
yes,
I will base it on what I consider coolness factor.
Okay.
Boston Terriers are freaking sweet.
All right. So Andrew Blake says Boston Terrier. I'm gonna say miniature Dachshund. They're just little hot dogs. They're just little useless hot dogs. They're just useless, but
yeah.
You know, if I wanted a dog to be useful, I'd just get a wolf. Jonathan Carranza writes, "Dear Alan and Blake, why are you always mean to Blake?" Now, okay, so first of all, I'm not always mean to Blake. I literally start every single show by saying the #1 producer in late night. Literally. So, first of all, I'm not always mean to Blake. And second of all, it's because I care.
Yeah, we're just trying to, better each other.
It's because I care about this program. Yeah. So when he's ruining it, when he's literally ruining the program, I tell him so. And I tell him so right then, as opposed to waiting until during the commercial break.
Yeah, it's the shtick. That's what we do.
Yeah, it's the shtick.
It's the shtick.
It's not that he literally ruins the show by leaving a graphic up for way too long and not taking it down, and then me having to. Yeah, it's totally a shtick. Anyway, Andrew Avery also says, "Dear Alan and Blake, if a father changes gender but doesn't openly discuss it, is he transparent?"
Yeah, sure, why not?
So here's the thing, is that only a man, like, remember those commercials on TV, like, that played during, like, afternoon cartoons that was like, only a man can be a dad? Do you remember those commercials?
Yeah, I remember those.
Like, they would have, like, Tarzan or something, and they would say, anyone can be whatever, but it takes a man to be a dad. Yeah, and I actually didn't think those were terrible commercials, because I feel like obviously the angle they're playing is that they're saying like teenagers don't go banging each other and making babies because you're not adults. That was really what it was about, because why would they be playing during kids' hours?
Yeah, exactly.
Which also, by the way, like when I was a teenager and I was banging chicks in high school, safely.
Jeez, man.
Safely practice, whatever.
Wow.
Like, yeah, we're not sponsored by Trojan, so I'm not advertising for them. But the point being is that I wasn't watching like afternoon cartoons anymore when I was of an age to make babies. Okay. But that's when those commercials were on. So it's like those commercials were being shown to like 8-year-olds. And I'm like, what 8-year-old do you know is at serious risk of becoming a father?
Wow. Well, I mean, that was the 80s, so.
Oh, okay, I'm not that old. It was the 90s. Thank you very much.
Sorry,
yeah,
90s, I'm old. What am I gonna do,
yeah. So I'm just saying, so the point being is I'm saying on the one hand, it was weird that those commercials came on at that time of day, because I feel like what
were you trying to say?
What's the target, like for any ad, for any commercial you see, it's like, what's the target audience?
Yeah.
If the target audience for this is teenagers that are banging each other in high school, but those people are not watching Looney Tunes, then you've missed your target audience. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Or maybe they're trying to tell younger kids because by the time they become teenagers, it's too late. You've lost them. They're just hormone enraged monsters now. They're not listening. I don't know. I always thought so. So the timing was weird.
Yeah.
But I wasn't against the ad campaign itself because obviously they were taking the angle of, it takes a man to be a dad. And I wasn't against that.
No.
But by 2020 standards, like they wouldn't put that on TV anymore because that's like insensitive to gender fluid people.
Yeah,
like, what? Gender fluid people ain't having babies anyway.
Right.
So I really don't even know what I'm ranting about anymore. What am I talking about?
I don't know. What's the next question?
The next question is, Dear Alan and Blake, from Jeff Johnson, action movie or chick flick? So it's interesting that the easy answer here is action movie. Mm-hmm. But if the chick flick is going to get you laid, then... And now we're back to the previous questions rant, where if you got to be careful because it takes a man to be a dad.
Oh, wow!
What happened to this show?
I don't know. Were you all right, buddy?
Actually, I'm going to go since I'm going to go on another rant now. Have you seen? Okay, I love football.
Yeah.
And
we all know that.
And people who know me know that like I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and God knows the Cowboys are just cover your eyes awful. But I love football.
Yeah.
So like I can watch football and it doesn't have to be my team. Like I can just enjoy the sport. Any game.
Yeah.
But I've actually gotten to the point now where I don't watch a lot of football on the weekends.
Really?
And the reason being is because I can't stand just the endless propaganda commercials. All the commercials of wear your mask, socially distance, all this just BS.
Oh, God.
But there's a new commercial that's out there that I actually tried to find the commercial so that we could like play the clip. And I can't find it. Like I found it on Twitter and I was like, I don't want it on Twitter. Like let me find it on YouTube or something. I can't find this damn commercial.
Okay.
And what it is, I'll explain it. So for people who have watched football on the weekends, I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
It's this commercial it shows a few different scenes. Like the first scene is like a few dudes hanging out watching the big game. And the whole point of the commercial is that you need to socially distance and wear a mask because if you don't, you'll die, basically. And so it shows this guy watching the big game with his buds and it zooms in on him watching the game. And then it flashes to him laying in a hospital bed with a ventilator, like with a big tube down his throat.
Really? I have not seen this commercial.
And then the second scene is like a birthday party for like a young girl. And the friends and the family are coming in the door and they're bringing presents and she's blowing out the candles on the birthday cake. And then the next scene is there she is laying in bed with the ventilator. And then there's another scene of an older man, same type of thing.
Yeah.
First of all, like I just can't stand to see propaganda. It's one of those things where when you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Like when you notice propaganda, when you see the crap that they spew out, you can't not notice it.
Yeah.
Once you start to notice it, you can't not notice it.
It's horrible.
And particularly this commercial, because for one, you know how it is that in a football game where there's lots of timeouts, there's halftime, there's in between quarters.
Yeah.
So there's lots of commercial breaks.
Yeah.
And so you see the same commercial like 4, 5, 6, 7 times during a game.
Right.
So you see the same commercial over and over and over again. And it's just ridiculous on its face. Because like the first of the 3 subjects in the commercial, the first one is like a dude bro, like mid-20s to 30-year-old dude watching football. And the second one is like a teenage girl, like maybe 14, 15-year-old girl. These people are not winding up in the hospital on ventilators dying of the coronavirus.
Right.
That's so ridiculous.
It is.
That's anti-science. That's not what's happening. So first of all, 99% of people aren't having that happen at all under any circumstances, no matter who you look at. But particularly the young and healthy. Like if with my limited knowledge of the scene in the commercial, these are young, vibrant, healthy people. Young, vibrant, healthy people with, to our knowledge, no comorbidities are not winding up in the hospital on ventilators, slowly passing away from the Rona. That's so ridiculous.
It is.
So I see that commercial and I'm like, I can't watch it. Like, just knowing that this commercial could, I turn off the TV. I can't watch anymore. Like, I can't watch because that crap is on like every 5 minutes. I can't watch.
It's annoying.
And just they're ruining it. They're ruining like. I'll give you another one really quick. Like we're blowing like. This is exactly why I'm posting
please.
This is why I'm posting on Indeed for a new producer.
Yeah.
To replace the one I have right now. Don't tell him. This is why we need a new producer. Because a good producer would be like flashing the clock right now that says out, zeros would be on, like it would say that it's time for a commercial break. But the producer I have, I just
let you go, man. I just listen.
Blake's he's just on his phone. He's not even watching. He doesn't even watch the show. He doesn't watch the show, guys. So he's just on his phone. So I'm going to do another one. Have you seen the AT&T commercial with the brunette with the huge tits? And she's talking about HBO Max or whatever.
Yeah.
So in the commercials, she's not wearing a mask.
Okay.
So because a lot of commercials, everyone's wearing masks.
Yeah.
They don't wear masks in the AT&T commercial.
No. You're right.
Apparently,
I didn't realize that.
Apparently a bunch of Karens complained that the AT&T commercial people look like they're in danger because they're not wearing masks and social distancing. So they actually put a disclaimer at the bottom of the commercial.
No.
That says this commercial was filmed safely. Please wear masks and social distance.
What a joke.
I'm like,
what a joke.
You can't escape it anywhere, dude.
This is ridiculous.
So if I see the commercial with the young, healthy people dying of the coronavirus, or if I see the 18, like I can't just enjoy her tits.
Yeah.
Which of course they have her like in a big button-up shirt because they can't. It's like they want to show them off, but they're a family company. It's like it's like the chick with the huge boobs wearing a sweater, where it's like you're just making them more noticeable. But anyway, I digress. The point being is that you can't just have a commercial.
Yeah.
You have to also signal that, but please wear a mask, you guys.
Yeah.
It's like
you got to throw some virtue signaling in there in order to make it legit.
So if I see the ventilators or if I see the AT&T, I just turn off. I quit watching whatever I was watching. I'm done with it.
You know what we need? We need somebody to come up with an invention that just automatically blacks out commercials. Just blacks them out. Just goes black for 2 minutes, and then your programming comes back on.
Well, I mean, one of the reasons, of course, one of the things about like Netflix, for instance, is that if you're someone who binges a show on Netflix, you just watch episode after episode after episode, and you don't have commercial breaks. So it's not that conceptually doesn't exist. It's just, but for things
doesn't that exist for sports?
For live sporting events those rights are owned by major networks. So when Fox is paying for, NFC games, they're going to air their commercials and stuff. Because where else you can't watch the game anywhere. So what are we talking about? Look at the time, dude. Hey, we're halfway through the show. We haven't even gotten to the meat yet.
Hey,
we had our pudding before our meat. It's over.
Fun. We're having a good time. Let's do this.
Are we though?
Yeah, we are.
Let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back after this. Your ad could be playing right now, reaching thousands of potential customers. Sadly, it's not, but it could be. Find out how to be an advertised sponsor for It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. Email us at alan@funnybroke.com.
Yep.
So, about that teacher, I know some people, we're actually going to play the clip. So, by the way, warning, there's some language in the clip. She may or may not tell someone to go kill themselves. Guys, we do not promote self-harm on this program.
No,
if you're listening, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. We tell people to go to euthanasia.com to get the information they need. To make the right choice for them. So she doesn't do that. Very unfortunate. Right. She doesn't do that. But we're going to talk about this lady, and we're going to talk a little bit about school, because who doesn't love making fun of the schools? Go ahead and play this teacher clip.
How would you like her to be your kid's teacher? You know, I mean, wow, she's happy.
So, as it turns out, so we actually don't have that lady's name, but it turns out, so she's actually a first-year school teacher. It's like she says it like she's just been in the trenches of education. She's a first-year teacher in Oregon that apparently has been put on paid leave. I don't know why she's being paid for anything.
I don't know why.
She's been put on paid leave. The school system's looking into it. You know, imagine that. They don't want their teachers driving up and down the road, flipping the bird and screaming obscenities at protesters.
Why not?
So what it was, by the way, is it was an anti-lockdown protest. It was anti-lockdown. They were talking about wanting to open up the schools, open the economy, that kind of stuff. And she pulls up to this gathering and says and does those things. You know, hits us with the quote, B word, kill yourself, I'm an effing teacher. Because that makes it okay. You know? F you, I am a teacher. I teach the students. My students' families are dying. In a sad, weird, twisted sense, I feel bad for her because these people think that.
Yeah.
Like they do think that. They do think that like literally millions of people are gonna die. Like if we don't just lock down and mask up, then I mean it'll just be bring out your dead. You know, carts will come by and collect the corpses and be on their way. That's what it's gonna be the plague.
Yeah.
They think that. And I'm not excusing it, by the way, but they think that. And so because they think that, then they feel that this otherwise completely irrational way of acting and speaking and whatever is justified because, well, I'm saving lives. I'm a hero. These people are all they're the heroes in their own story, right?
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things that's really difficult about discussing lots of issues in the political or cultural sphere is that everyone always imagines themselves to be the hero.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they have this weird caricature of how the world works that they've seen too many movies, right?
Yeah.
Like you know, there like that cliche movie scene where here's the whole group of people and they all believe one thing, and then this brave person stands up and gives some impassioned speech, and then there's one person comes out and slow claps, and then all of a sudden those people who just moments ago were violently opposed to that person now have. They've come around, they've come around to their thinking.
They're enlightened.
That's a movie.
Yeah.
That's not real life.
Nope.
Now, I wish that someone who was genuinely informed, who had data and logic and facts, I wish someone could reason and debate and argue and claim things and back up their claims with evidence. And I wish that would persuade people. And for some people it does.
Yeah.
But by and large, it doesn't work that way. And certainly just an impassioned speech won't just magically bring people around.
Right.
Of course, what we saw right there, that's not an impassioned speech. It's definitely impassioned, but it's not really a speech. It's more just, I mean, it's threatening, quite frankly. I mean, And so there's a few takeaways from that I specifically want to touch on. One that you kind of already alluded to, which is, granted, first year, but that's a teacher.
Yeah.
That's a teacher who has swallowed hook, line, and sinker every bit of propaganda that the state spews out. Now, do you think that that's the type of educator that's going to teach your children to think for themselves, to think logically, to form their own opinions, and to be an individual, to value individualism and to value liberty as a primary political virtue, and to not just take what someone, to not appeal to authority, to not just take what someone says as truth because they said it. Do you think those are things that woman is going to impress upon your children?
Of course not.
Of course not.
Of course not.
In fact, not only is she not going to impress those things upon your children, she's going to do the exact opposite. But we shouldn't be surprised, because that's what public schools do. Public schools are absolutely just modeled after the Prussian system. They're not interested in free-thinking individuals lining their desks in each classroom.
Right.
They are much more interested in obedient, constructive, non-free-thinking citizens. They want them to go out and work and contribute to the economy. And maybe in some sense that's good, but they certainly don't want them thinking for themselves. They do want them taking whatever the state says and filing that away as something that's good and true and honest and just, that inherently they are good, and inherently individualism is bad, because then you breed all of these crazy people who won't just who want to kill grandma, who won't just go along, who won't slow the spread and all this crap. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
The second thing is that, do you think that this woman is the exception or the rule? Do you think that this is just one crazy young educator who lost their cool, who is not indicative of the educational establishment at large? I don't think so.
Right.
Now, I don't think, maybe most teachers wouldn't drive up to a rally and start flipping everyone off and cussing them out. Maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. But no, I think, as a matter of fact, and this is proven to be true. You see stories from all over the country of teachers groups, specifically teachers unions, teachers in their unions all across the country, threatening walkouts, saying that promoting lockdowns, refusing to go back to work, refusing to go back to in-person instruction, even though all the data shows that the virus is not a significant threat to young people, that young people are way better off going back to school. You even have some of the quote-unquote establishment types, like the Faucis of the world, saying, yeah, we should probably try to keep schools open. But you have all the teachers groups saying, no, we will not go back to in-class instruction. We'll walk out. We'll strike if you do. And then furthermore, you see in many school districts around the country them giving this list of demands. And by the way, quite often in their list of demands, along such things as pay raises and the like, is, well, cut funding for charter schools, ban private options, get rid of school choice where school choice exists. Don't give any support to any other educational institutions outside of the public school system. Only promote the public school system. It's the only genuine way to educate the masses. Get rid of choice. Get rid of choices in education. Get rid of school choice. Get rid of charter schools. Get rid of private schools. Defund those institutions. Do those sound like people that are putting your children and their education first? No.
No.
They are absolutely not. They are not interested in your children. They are not interested in what's best for them. Right. But for them as in your children and they're interested in what's best for them, right, as in the teachers in the union. We've said this on the program before. Look, I mean, those of us who believe in free market economics understand that people tend to behave in their own best interest, and you count on that. Yeah. You count on people behaving in their own best interest. Right. That's what unions do. The teachers' unions, for all of their bluster, are not interested in the education of a single child. They are interested in the betterment of their members. Right. That's what unions do.
That's right.
The teachers' unions don't give a damn about your kids. They don't give a damn about education. They care about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
I count on that. I'm not even saying that makes them different. That makes them just like everybody else.
Just like all of them.
But I will not cede to them the moral high ground. You've heard me say that on this program before. Do not cede the moral high ground to people like that.
Right.
Don't let people like that in the arena of public discourse say, well, I do what I do because I am good and I am just and I am doing it for people. I am protecting my I'm for the students. I care about them and their families. Therefore, I pursue this onerous legislation or I threaten to walk out or whatever.
Yeah.
No, they're only interested in their own agenda.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Maybe they just want larger vacation time.
I don't care what they want, because if it were up to me, all the public schools would go away. And the last thing I'll say before we take the break is that when you see all the stories of all the threats and all the walkouts, when you see the pro-lockdown types, when you see them just wanting to end school choice and defund charter schools and things like that, it just goes to show, and I mean this when I say this, and I know not everyone is in a position where they can homeschool. Mm-hmm. Not everyone is in a position where they can afford, say, a private school. Right. Not everyone gets the opportunity to go to a charter school if there's a good charter school in your area. I mean, you can only have so much enrollment. Not everyone can go. I get that. We don't live in a perfect world.
Right.
But when you send your kids to people like that, you shouldn't be surprised then when they come home having learned to loathe and despise you and not reflect your morals and values.
That's true.
You have to no one is more responsible for your children and their education than you are.
That's right.
So you have to get out ahead of the train on this one and teach your children to not listen to people like that, not revere people like that,
especially
not respect them and their authority. Because if you don't give it to them, they don't have it.
That's right.
We'll be right back after this break. Don't go away. We're gonna have a little fun to end the show this week.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna let's shake it out.
Shake it out.
Get all that bad.
Shake it out. Shake it out. Shake it out.
That bad voodoo out of here.
Yes, sir.
I've seen this going around social media. So, in a world where a sexy Mr. Rogers Halloween costume exists, no one should be surprised that there's a movie featuring a sexy Colonel Sanders. Yes, Lifetime and KFC have teamed up to make a mini movie called A Recipe for Seduction, starring Mario Lopez as Colonel Arlen Sanders. Check out the trailer right here. What are you doing?
A Lifetime original mini movie.
You don't answer my proposal, and now you're not answering my call.
I think I'm falling for the new chef.
Jessica is falling for Harlan.
The cook? Leave Jessica alone and skip town.
He has a secret recipe that's going to change the world.
Harlan claims to have some secret recipe.
A secret recipe? Spare me.
We all have our secrets. If you marry my daughter, I promise there'll be more long weekends in your future.
Mom, I have to tell you something.
We have a problem.
Secret's out, chicken man. I'll take care of this. You're ruining everything!
Just kill him already!
Who the hell are you?
Harlan Sanders, the new chef.
Mario Lopez is Colonel Sanders in A Recipe for Seduction. Premieres December 13th at noon. Only on Lifetime. Presented by Kentucky Fried Chicken.
All right, you can cut that. That's this Sunday, by the way. That's this Sunday, by the way. I know all of you are going to be tuned in. That's this Sunday, God. By the way. So I do want to clear up a couple of things. So some people have seen that advertisement and been like, "What in the Kentucky Fried F is that?" So it's not actually a full length movie. It's not like it's a Lifetime movie that's like 90 minutes and commercial breaks and all that. It's only like 15 minutes long, so it's basically like a glorified commercial for KFC.
Man.
But here's the beautiful thing. So first of all, wow.
Yeah.
And second of all, this is genius, dude. This is amazing. This is exactly the kind of branding that like libertarians need to spread ideas.
Exactly.
Because all the people that are out there on social media that are like, oh my God, have you seen this? And they've got like the movie poster of the recipe for seduction. Like, oh, like I 2020, I can't believe this. Have you seen this? You're all talking about it.
I know.
You're all talking about the Colonel.
Yeah.
You're all talking about Colonel Sanders and KFC. You can't tell me that there's not people out there that have seen that A, they're going to watch it. You're totally going to watch it.
You have to.
And then some percentage of those people who don't like normally dine at KFC are going to be like, ha ha, ha ha ha, I'm going to go get a KFC. I'm going to go get a bucket of chicken.
I want a bucket of chicken right now.
God, I do too. I'm so hungry, man.
Man.
Like this is the bad thing about doing any type of coverage on food related stuff when you're on a diet is it just makes you. So here's the thing. Here was a tweet that came out that said, some folks take their secrets to the grave, but Colonel Sanders takes his to the deep fryer. Like it doesn't.
It's great.
Like that's not like that's a terrible play on words because it's not a play on words. It like it doesn't. That's terrible. It doesn't make any sense.
On his face, man. Come on. Awesome.
So that is December 13th. So that's what
That's
this Sunday at noon.
Yeah.
Is Recipe for Seduction on Lifetime.
You know, hey, listen, I got to level with you.
Yeah.
When I first saw the very first like trailers for, I thought that was legit. I mean, I thought that well, it
is legit. It's just
really
not
have a life where like he was
no.
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
no.
Now I realize the poor old, but Colonel Sanders would roll over in his grave if he saw this crap. But anyway, it's funny.
Yeah. No, it's not. Okay.
What about all the commercials leading up to it? You know what I mean? Like all the creepy Colonel stuff that's been like, him talking on the side of the buckets or like magic.
Okay, so I will say this. It's like so some people have said like it's amazing people will stop at nothing to virtue signal about everything.
Yeah.
So I have seen people posting about this saying that like it's disrespectful to Colonel Sanders to be like portraying him in this way. So I'm actually going to stop you right there if you're one of those people who's like that. So first of all, Colonel Sanders should count himself lucky that he's being played by Mario. Like, let's be honest. He's being played by Mario Lopez. The Colonel didn't exactly have those guns.
No.
So first of all, like if Mario Lopez plays me in the Lifetime movie about our show, I won't complain.
Yeah, you'll be honored, sure.
They're going to have to curl his hair, I guess. He used to have the Jerry curl back in the Saved by the Bell days. They'll have to bring it back.
Yeah, but Norm Macdonald, I mean, wasn't he playing the Colonel in some of the other commercials?
Oh yeah, they've had a bunch of people play the Colonel. But the thing is, I'm going to stop you right there if you're virtue signaling, because Colonel Sanders, he wasn't actually a military general. He wasn't actually a colonel.
The Kentucky Colonel.
So this was a guy who, like, his whole shtick. I mean, he was the chicken mogul. Like, that's true. He did start the chain and all that. But he was no novice to kind of coming up with a fake backstory to help brand his product. So I'm not gonna I feel like they're stepping out of line is my point. Like his whole identity was fake, so making another fake identity for him is not really that big a deal.
He made himself a mascot. I mean,
yeah,
if
exactly.
you make yourself
exactly.
a mascot for your brand, then then whatever people do with you after you're gone is fair game.
We need a mascot.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. How about like a 40 middle-aged-year-old man with a fat beer gut? Oh wait. That's me.
I'm worried about you because I know you don't drink. So if you're developing a beer gut while not drinking, then there's something going on.
Let's call it a candy gut.
All right.
Cookie gut.
Maybe, well, I mean, people ask us goat-related stuff all the time because someone I know is a goat farmer.
It's not a goat gut.
It's not a goat gut.
Oh, wow. Continue.
This
Colonel
is one of those.
Sanders.
This is one of those types of things where if we were making enough money to make this program our full-time job, we would we would watch this and critique it, and we'd do a review of it.
We'd laugh. Colonel Sanders, though, if you look at the bucket, and you look at his head, and you look at his tie, you ever looked at Colonel Sanders' tie on the bucket? I promise you, when you see that little stick figure guy underneath that great big floating head, you'll never look at it quite the same again. You can't unsee that.
So the tagline is, "We all have our secrets."
Yes.
His just happens to be a recipe for seduction.
Awesome. Oh, wow. What's he going to do? Seduce her with chicken? I just don't. I don't know.
mean,
we have to see this thing. We've got to watch this.
I mean, she's a pretty good-looking woman.
She must like chicken.
There's gonna be sad insults out there that are gonna go buy a bucket of KFC because they feel like it brings them closer to that. They're gonna totally ignore that they don't look anything like Mario Lopez. Yeah. They'll be sitting there with their white shirt and their bucket of KFC, and they're gonna say, "I'm just like him," even though they're belly. I'm just like him.
Yep.
Why can't I get her? I'm just like him.
Because they don't have a bucket of chicken.
No, you don't even watch the damn show, Blake. I literally just said this segment's over. You just killed the segment. You just killed the segment.
No, I didn't.
You just killed it.
Well, I don't have a bucket of chicken.
That's irrelevant.
It doesn't matter.
Like, we're actually now verging very close to we have to stop tape and redo the show territory because you've ruined the segment so bad.
No.
You've absolutely ruined it. I think since you ruined it, we better give our audience something to drink over, which is the party room.
Oh, yeah.
So it's time for a commercial break. Like our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Alan Mosley TV. You can follow me on Twitter. It's Twitter @Alan Mosley TV. Subscribe to our YouTube page. It's youtube.com/Alan Mosley TV. And Parler.
Yeah.
Parler @Alan Mosley. So yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
Remember, we were going to do a tape. Remember when we did the Impossible Whopper?
Yeah.
We were going to do the Impossible Chicken from KFC, but they didn't have it at the nearest location to us.
That's what it is.
So, I'm not driving an hour to go pick up Impossible Chicken to come back here. Guys, I'll do a lot for the shtick. I ain't doing that.
It'd be cold by the time we got here anyway, so.
We'll still taste, if our viewers send us stuff, we'll totally do it.
Yeah.
That's an open invitation to you guys always.
Oh, wow.
If you have something you want me and Blake to taste test on the show, we'll totally have a culinary segment on the show and taste test it. Just contact us. We'll send you the address. We'll totally set it up. Remember, we did the hot chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still hurting.
You're still hurting.
That's still hurting.
But it's just funny that we happen to talk about KFC today because we totally would have done a whole segment
yeah.
about KFC, but we couldn't get the Impossible Chicken
I know.
at our location.
I know. It's a shame.
I'm sure it would have been awful.
Yeah.
I did. You know what? I actually tell you the last time because at the end of the show when we're out of time, it's totally when I'm going to do a rant. The last time I had anything from KFC was when they had the Double Down. Do you remember that?
I think so.
The Double Down was like a bacon sandwich, but the sandwich, instead of buns, it was 2 chicken patties.
Oh yeah, I remember
So
that.
you had 2 chicken patties with your. I had a Double Down.
Those are awesome. Do they still have that or no?
I don't know if they still have it, but
I bet they'll make it
I
for
remember when it came out, I told everybody that is reprehensible. And by reprehensible, I mean delicious.
That's right. Well, the McRib is out right now floating around. If you like crunchy meat. McRib season again, but
You like crunchy meat, do you, Blake?
no, I don't.
You know what? I've never had a McRib.
You're serious?
But you know what? I don't eat at McDonald's, really.
Oh,
So,
yeah, okay.
like, anytime anyone ever writes, is like, hey, man, the McRib is back, I'm always like, you eat at McDonald's? that's always my answer.
Clown food, right? Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to another show, and we will see you next week.